Hello, hello, hello. I am back for another day with another stream. Oh boy. Okay. I almost forgot to turn off my VPN right before I started. That would have been catastrophic. Probably would have had a bunch of dropped frames again. Um, but yeah, here we are again. And sometimes the days really start to blend together. Like this is day 28 now. So we've been doing this for a while. But they're like really starting to blend together. The days feel so long, like I can't explain it to you. It's like they're both long and short at the same time. It's very confusing. I don't know how to explain it. It's like I think about yesterday, and yesterday feels like so long ago. Like I feel like I streamed forever ago. So anyway, before I start, let me take a little look at if the streams are working okay. Yeah, it looks fine. I still wonder why Twitch is always written as unstable. I don't really understand what that's about. But looks like it's working fine on there and fine on the other. Okay. Should be okay then. So, like usual. What? Um, I don't know. I can't make out those words. Are these like did you censor them manually or is that a Twitch thing? You probably censored them manually, right? I don't know what it says though. Is it anything controversial? I hope not. If it is, don't tell me what it means. I'm a censor for traumatizing reasons. All right. Hey Brendan, what's up? How you doing? Okay, so let's talk about the progress. So let me take a look at our email campaign. Like I said the other day, I bought new emails and those need to warm up. I got a couple more responses. Okay, couple more responses. Nice. So, one, you are the wrong people wasting my time. Okay. So, I'm gonna take a nice little screenshot of that. I'm okay, hoping my luck will shift. What's up with your luck? What happened? Some company hit me up about immediate shifts and stuff, so I said, sure, now I'm waiting on them. Make myself quick bit of fuel money. Nice. Okay, so this guy said, you are the wrong people wasting my time. Very sad. It's very mean. I wonder why people are so mean. Let me save this because I'm saving all my rejection messages for the future. Hey, confused creature, how you doing? It always hurts. Like I'm genuinely just trying to help people out, but it always hurts when somebody is mean to me, you know? Hey, cyber gaming hacked version, what's up? Nigersaurus, yes, Nigersaurus. Where am I saving these again? Other? No, personal? Oh no, here we go. Screenshot. Okay. Rejection 3. That's rejection number 3. So, and they're all so mean, man. Trying to find work can be a drag what's happening, even if I have to get a bike to do Uber Eats or something. Yeah, you know, gotta make do with what you got. So yeah, there's rejection letter number 1. Let me reply to it. Yeah, just gonna say sorry for wasting his time. And then let's see the other one. He said, pal, I'm busy as it is, so it's cool. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I'm just gonna say, hey, that's great to hear. Hope you enjoy your day. Sorry to here. Sorry to have bothered you. Hope you enjoy your day. Yep, send that as well. Okay, so these people are very busy and marked as not interested. Okay, cool. So we got another couple of responses, which is good. Look, negative responses are still responses, which is good. It's nice to get these messages regardless. I'm going to save this as well. Rejection 4. I really wonder sometimes is like, am I targeting people with the right problem? Because I know like some landscapers do struggle with getting consistent clients in, but not all of them. And I'm just wondering, is there a better problem that I could solve for them? Because like I've had a good few people now telling me that they are busy enough as is. So it's like potentially I'm just not targeting the right problem or the right people. What business are you building? I'm building a digital marketing agency. We sell Facebook ads and websites for landscapers to try and get them more clients. So we sent another, how many emails? Let me take a quick look. We sent 66 emails today. Okay. And I have a bunch more setting up. So once that's done, it's going to be nice. We're going to be able to send out to more people faster. And we'll see. Look, maybe the niche isn't right. Maybe we'll have to change niche. Maybe the like problem statement that we're targeting isn't right. Maybe we'll have to change that. The most important thing for us right now is to get data. So that's what we're relying on. So anyway, that's that. Got another couple of replies. Okay, cool. It's nice that we're getting replies, even though they hurt my heart. But anyway, so what I actually was planning to do today is talk about how I got to this point and how the business was. Because as some of you would know who have been around here for a while, I didn't start at the very beginning because I only had this idea much later. And I had like a good few months where I was testing out a bunch of other stuff and like trying to figure out what it is I'm actually going to do. So I thought I would just tell the story kind of how my business used to be and show you some of the old stuff that I had, just so we have a more complete kind of series, so I don't exclude anything important. Only emails? Yeah, we're only sending emails right now. We're working up to sending 100 a day, and then once my other emails are set up, we'll be doing 300 a day. So, yeah. I guess that kind of covers what we did. Yeah, what I did last night and this morning. So last night, I actually started working on that YouTube video I wanted to make, which is like a shortened version of day one, which is like, it's about 10 minutes long-ish, and it just summarizes everything I did in the first day of when we built that automated outreach system. I'm from India, nice. Hey, DF Fame, nice to have you. So that I did the voiceover for it last night because I had to stay up really late. I'm super tired today. I had to pick people up from the airport. I have family visiting right now. So yeah, I was up till like 1:30 a.m. last night, so I'm pretty tired. Woke up at like 8 today. So I didn't really get too much done this morning, but I worked mainly. I edited my... Sorry, not edited. I edited the voiceover a little bit, trying to prepare it for the YouTube video. So all of the assets are now done. Everything is recorded. Now is just editing. I have to edit my vocals to remove like mouth clicks, make myself sound a little better and such. And I have to actually piece the video together. But everything is recorded. So I might be able to get that out this week. that's going to be a really cool video, I think. I think it's turning out well. I like it so far, at least. I hope you like it as well. And other than that, I uploaded the rest of my reels for the next month. Your customers would be new online business thing where you can find them. What? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Am I in the center of the... Yeah, I'm in the center. Okay. You know, it's extremely hot in this country. I live in Spain, for anybody who doesn't know. It's super hot. It's like 30, 35 degrees. I'm like sweating all the time. And because the room I'm in has an insane amount of echo, like huge amounts of reverb, you can't really hear it too much here. Because I have like a noise suppressor on, but I couldn't have that for the recording because it would cut out some of my vocals. Like the F sounds I make and some of the others would get cut off by the noise suppression, so I had to turn it off. And I ended up having to record under a blanket. God damn, I was sweating profusely. I had, like, in this hot room, I had to throw a blanket over my head, cover myself with the microphone, and then hold it up with my arms because I don't have it, like, I don't have a stand or anything I could put it on. So I had to hold it up with my arms like this, essentially doing like a lateral raise for like 23 minutes while I recorded the fucking voiceover. My arms were dying by the end of it, and I was sweating so bad. But I hope it's going to be worth it. So, that's about it. I uploaded some more reels, so now I'm good on reels for the next 3 weeks. So I might not clip some of the stuff from stream just because I have so many that I really just don't even need it. I'm going to start uploading twice a day. I had 43 videos. You finding clients, customers, no big business gonna come to you starting to advertise their product service. That's why I said thinking of. Well, yeah, I'm targeting primarily small business owners, but it's hard to target small people individually. So I'm just targeting landscapers. Like I went to Google Maps and I scraped a bunch of profiles from every business on Google Maps that's a landscaper, and I'm sending emails to all of them. So some of them are gonna be small, some of them are gonna be big. But I feel like the trades nowadays are actually usually fairly busy. The ones that aren't busy is just because they're kind of shit, which is a problem. So I'll have to think about that. Like maybe we need to target a different problem. Maybe it's more of like a time-saving issue. But I don't know. I might have to do some more research. But either way, we don't really have enough data. What I could do as well is set up multiple campaigns where we do different niches with different problem statements. So we could take a look at that too. Get more data faster. I think it'll work out though. It just really depends. We need to get the right person. And we need to send enough emails. So I'll see how it goes. Look, I'm also planning on doing some advertising. I don't have a huge amount of budget, but I'll see what I can put into it. Hopefully we'll be able to get, you know, if we get one client closed, that would be a huge, like, milestone, because I could use all of the money that we get to reinvest into running more ads to get more customers. It's just, it really hinges on me getting the ad, like, just right. Doing a really, really good job with the ad. So I want to put a lot of work into it to try and make it as good as I possibly can. So we're going to do that too. Anyway, so unless anybody has any questions, I'm going to start with a story. I'll kind of like bring you through like all the assets I had, the ideas I had, the website I built and everything. I kind of laid it out in this sheet in like half an hour before the stream because I was thinking of what I should do. And I figure that I think that telling the origins of the business is something that I should have as part of the series. So that's what I'm going to do. Anyway, I'm going to go turn off my AC. By the way, we have this like ritual. ritual kind of, I guess, where we draw something on the whiteboard every stream. So if anybody wants to suggest something I can draw, you can let me know and I'll draw it before we start. Give me a second. I'm gonna turn off my AC. If nobody has any ideas for what to draw, you can also just give me your like YouTube name or something. I'll just write your name now. Should not you go to a few business owners physically if they're close to where you live? I don't live in a country where I speak the local language, so I can't do that. Emails and actually being present at the place is a completely different impact. Yeah, I agree, but it also takes significantly longer. If you can send 1,000 emails a day, but you can only drive to about 5 businesses a day, I mean, each business you go to is going to have a larger chance of success, but it's also going to take a significantly larger portion of your time, whereas the emails are automatic. And also the main problem is I just literally can't do it because I don't live in an English-speaking country. So it's kind of pointless for me. Anyway, so let's get into it. Oh, just give me a second. Yeah, sorry. Like I said, I'm super tired today. It's kind of funny how every stream it feels like the energy just keeps flipping back and forth. Like we have an energetic stream, and then we have a lethargic stream, and then energetic, lethargic, and it's just back and forth like that because I keep having like shit sleep, kind of okay, decent sleep, shit sleep again. So the energy is all over the place. But, that's what happens when you do this kind of stuff every day. 28 days straight, it's not easy. Sometimes you're going to have different energy levels. That's normal. Every day is different. But yeah, anyway, so when I first started my business, I started it with a friend. We came up with the name Serpicore after about 10 minutes of thinking together. Like we were going through a bunch of different names. We came up with like prefixes and I don't know what to call it when it's the other way around. Fucking postfixes. I don't know what they're called. Like a connecting word that went after the end of another word. So core was one of those things. We were thinking of a bunch of different names which we could use with core. And we had a few other ones. I can't remember what they were at this point. But we ended up landing on Serpicore. And when we said it out loud, we talked about it a bit. It just kind of clicked. We were like, yeah, kind of like that. So let's just go with that. Thing is, back then, I didn't really know as much about marketing. So now that I know more, I would have went with a name that is more specific to what I actually do. And I urge anybody to do the same. So instead of saying something like Serpicore, which is like a generic kind of name, you can't pinpoint any specific thing to that name, I would have went with something like Get Clients or Client Easy or something like that. You get what I mean. I would have went with something like that. It would have made a lot more sense. Or if you have a niche, you could say something like Clients for Landscapers. Something like that. But anyway, we ended up going with Serpicore. I haven't changed it since because I just kind of stuck with it. I don't really want to change it. I already have the domain, I have the branding and everything set up, so I'm just going to roll with it. Any tips on how to start learning marketing from scratch for free, like any resource videos or courses? There's a lot of great books on it. You could read the book behind me. That's a great sales book, Pitch Anything by Oren Klaff. You could read $100 million sales and, sorry, not sales, $100 million offers and $100 million leads by Alex Hormozy. Those are really, really good marketing books. Never Split the Difference is a good sales book. So I mean, just reading a lot of those books, watch some YouTube videos, pick the service that you actually want to run. Like, let's say Facebook ads, you could find some reputable YouTubers which you could learn how to run Facebook ads off of. That's another option. You could look around for communities online. So that would be enough to get you started. So after we came up with the name, we bought the domain, bought the name, and started working on the branding. I started working on the branding. I originally bought the domain and my custom email address with GoDaddy, but that ended up being a mistake. Spent a bunch of time trying to figure out how to remove myself from it later. Don't do it. Don't use GoDaddy or any of those kind of registrars. They're shit. I had to do this process called defederation, which was a huge pain in the ass. But I think I ended up doing it fine. I think I completely separated myself from GoDaddy, but there's still a few like a few things in my dashboard which say like GoDaddy, even though I'm not connected to them anymore. But anyway, don't use it. Just use an actual dedicated registrar. Something like, I think Namecheap is one. Maybe Pork Bun, I think, is one. I ended up going with Cloudflare, and I love Cloudflare. I would recommend Cloudflare to anyone who wants to purchase a domain. I think it's way better. It's really good. They sell them at like base price, basically as cheap as you can get them. But they also have some paid plans, which are really good. I don't use any of them, but the amount that comes in with the free plan of just buying your domain is great. So I really recommend you get it on Cloudflare. So at that point, we started brainstorming ideas. By the way, in case you see it, like I look here, I have some notes down for myself just because I kind of wanted to piece together, make sure I'm not missing any gaps. So we started brainstorming ideas and we thought about email marketing at first. That was the first plan originally. We ended up building like a lead magnet. My friend was the one who did the lead magnet. I was going to start making content for it. We worked on that for a bit, but it never really got anywhere. We worked on it for like a month or two, but then kind of just stopped. At this point, we kind of split up and began working on our own thing because we couldn't really agree on what we wanted to do. He wanted to do email marketing, like a specific kind of email marketing, but I didn't really understand at the time what it was that he wanted to do. And I found it very confusing. And the outreach methods were, I feel, a little bit outdated. So we kind of split and I ended up working on my own thing. I tried, but couldn't find any good videos on YouTube. Most of them tried selling their courses. Any recommendations to use? I could start with the books. I'm telling you, look, if you can't afford books, if you don't want to spend any money, Alex Hormozi has $100 million offers and $100 million leads for free in podcast form on Apple Podcast. So if you literally have no money, want to do completely for free, I still really urge you to just listen to those books. They are really, really good. Studying psychology is also a good idea. This is true. There's some books for that. I think I have this book by a dude named Brian Tracy called The Psychology of Selling or something like that. That's a good book, I think, as well. I haven't read it yet, though. I've had that recommended to me. Hey, Sway, what's up? Shout out. I don't have enough subs for a shout out, bro. Yeah, so start with those books. Those books are gonna teach you a lot. They're very, very good. So then after we split up, started working on our own things, we split up and I kept the brand name and I started working on the brand continuously. So I started to work on the logo and brand colors and such at this point. Didn't want to spend too much time on it because I just wanted to get something together so I could start. And let me show you what my logo originally looked like. You're going to see the progress of it. So just give me a second. I'll show you what it looked like. I named my chicken Haley. And now it says Baktua. Bruv. Come on. That, like, you're a few months too late, brother. You're a few months late to that trend. I never found that video funny. I always thought it was just like, I don't understand why people liked it. Anyway, so let me show you what my logo looked like. Here is what my original logo was like. This was the original logo. I used ChatGPT to help me generate a bunch of images, and this is the one that I liked the most, and this is what I originally went with. But I quickly realized this was a bit too complex of a design. The eye didn't make any sense. I wanted to simplify it, basically, get rid of all the gradients and stuff. So what ended up happening is my logo went from this and turned into this. So this was the original concept. Oops. Concept for... Oops. No, I just want to move around. Okay, whatever. This is what my logo became originally. After this, went with that. And I liked this. I'm actually... I kept this for a while. The only thing I changed later is the font and the colors. Because at this stage, I didn't really know anything about branding. I wanted to position my brand as being premium. But as you can clearly see, the colors are super vibrant, which is usually associated with cheap stuff. Is the opposite of premium. Vibrant colors normally mean cheap. So, but that's what I ended up using for a while. I did end up changing it, made it look more premium. I can show you what my logo looks like right now. It's actually in the process of a redesign because I'm making like my brand more premium. I'm actually putting more effort into my logo and stuff because I'm redesigning my website and such. So what I am changing my logo currently, but the colors make way more sense now. It's like a muted green and gold, supposed to symbolize, you know, money and richness, premium kind of thing. So let me show you what my current logo looks like. It is this one, I think. Yeah. So this is my current logo without the black stuff. I have one with the black background, but you see, this is a lot more like, it's just nicer looking. This is cleaner, darker colors. So I ended up going with this. And this looks okay, but I thought that this looks way too complex still. And I wanted to make it more sleek. So I actually redesigned this as well. I'm in the process of it. It's not finished yet, so I'm not going to show it. But when I finish, I will show. My website is dark mode. So this will go on a black thing. It's just, this is the, without a background. This is why it looks like this. But yes, it is on black. You can see it on my website right now. Actually, I could just pull up my website here. This is what my website looks like. You can see in the top left. Here's the logo. So it's in the process of a redesign because so is my website. I'm working on it, so I want to change it, make it more sleek. Anyway, that's that. Snake, yes, it's a snake. The idea I had was, and I'm redesigning it now, but the idea I had was a snake that is eating itself. And in my mind, that symbolizes like an infinite cycle of growth. That's kind of what I wanted that to mean. Metal Gear reference right there. What Metal Gear reference? Change the font. Yeah, so I think the font looks good now. And I think the logo is fine, but I want to make it more sleek and simple. Because it's too complex inside. So I'm in the process of redesigning that. Anyway, so I made these logos. Metal Gear Solid. What did I say that sounded like that? Like because of Snake? Like Snake from Metal Gear Solid? Is that what you mean? I think that is what you meant, actually. Yeah, Solid Snake. Solid Snake, kind of like rock hard cock. You know what I mean? Anyway, I made that in Photoshop and rebuilt it in Inkscape, which is the software I use to turn it into a vector, because Inkscape is free and it works fine. It's good enough for the purpose I use it for. And in case anybody doesn't know, what vectoring does is it turns your logo into a bunch of like mathematical equations, which like draw lines. So your logo scales well. Like, you know, when you have a pixelated image like a PNG or JPEG or something, and you shrink it down or expand it, it gets really pixelated. So with vectors, that doesn't happen. And logos should be vectorized. So I turned it into a vector in Inkscape. I just drew it manually. So that's that. After that, I started thinking of what service I want to sell. So now we get to developing my first service, because it originally was not this. The first idea I had was to create an AI calling agent which called leads as soon as they filled out a contact form. I had found a study which said that calling inbound leads within 60 seconds of contact increased your odds of closing by 391%. So I thought that was really interesting and started working on the service and trying to figure out how that would work. Hey, Checkered, what's up? All good. How about you? How you doing? So I started doing a bunch of research on what platforms I can use to build the automation and how I would increase its value and stuff. I made like these really big documents of research in Excel. I came up with the idea that the AI agent could continuously follow up with people who didn't pick up and also send them emails too. Now there's a bunch of these. At the time when I was making this didn't exist, just so you know. I know there's a bunch of calling agents now, but when I was making it, it was still very, very new. There wasn't a service like what I was providing. So after the person would reply or pick up, it would try to get them to book with the company into their calendar. While looking around for how I could make this work, I came across Bland AI and Make.com, which is the two platforms that I used to build it. Bland AI allows you to make dialogue trees for these AI callers, and Make.com allows you to create a bunch of automations by visually connecting a multitude of platforms together, which I could use to start up the calls and do the follow-ups and everything else. So did some research, found the follow-up strategy. Here's what that looked like. Let me show you real quick. This is the follow-up strategy that I was using. Let me switch. I was doing this. So calling day, this is wrong. This is day 10. And this is day 20. So this was from a study as well that I found. I was setting it up based off of this. And then I started to build out the actual phone caller. And first, I mapped out what I actually wanted it to look like. I used a program, I think it was Miro.com, I believe. But anyway, let me show you what that looked like. Give me just a second. Let me paste this in just so you could see properly. So here's what it originally looked like. Let me know if this is big enough. I really hope that you can read this. I'm trying to make it as big as I can. Let me spread this open. There we go. So at the call, this is the start of the call. So this is how the AI caller actually was going to function. I was planning out how I wanted the steps to happen. So it would greet the user with this specific line. Hey, first name, I'm Sarah from Serpicor, calling regarding the contact form you submitted. I just have one question if you have a second. Let me pull out my times 69 zoom glasses to read. Is it really that small? Hold on. Let me... Look, I could make it bigger. Is that better? Hey buddy, how's it going? It's going pretty well, Rapid. Just going over how my business kind of started before I started streaming, just to bring you guys up to speed, because I didn't do that before. So it would show this message. Then let's just go to one. Why is this lagging? Let's go down to one path first so you could read it properly. So if the person didn't have time to discuss after they pick up, it would say, no problem, would you like to set another time? If they say no, then the user does not want to set an appointment. So this is like a lost lead, basically. It would say, okay, I'll send the email with our contact details in case you want to reach out to us again. Have a wonderful day. Call would end, and then an email would be sent to that person with contact details via make.com. So now let's go back up. If the user has time to discuss after they pick up the phone, it would say, perfect, just wanted to know what kind of timeline you had in mind for the project. What are you looking to have it completed? Just so you know, this was built for construction companies. So that's who I was originally planning to sell to. So that's what it means by project. The user would respond to the question. It would say, all right, noted. It would save this as a response, which it would send to like a database later. Could I book an appointment then to speak with one of our staff members who could help you with the situation? So this is now where both of these sections meet. And now if they say no, it goes down the path we went through before. If they say yes, it says, great, what date and time would you like the schedule for? They give the date and time that they want, and the AI caller would say, give me a moment while I check the calendar. So then it would go in, capture the date and time preferences as variables. It would check the availability via make.com by webhook. And it would check the availability on cal.com and return the data to Bland. So I had an automation which was set up, which I can show you. Actually, I think it's later on. I'll show you like the whole setup of how everything worked. If the time slot doesn't exist, so it would basically check in real time. You give it the data, it would go into your calendar, check if you have availability at that date and time, and then come back to the person and tell them if that slot is available and if it's not. If it's not available, then it would give other slots that are available, and the person would be able to choose it, and this would repeat until they would find a suitable slot. If the slot did exist, then it would say this time slot is available. You should receive a confirmation email momentarily, and it would end the call and send the email confirmation via make.com. How long have you been working on this business, and did you get any client? So I'm just kind of going through like what I did originally. So there's like, it's been a while. The service specifically that I'm selling now, I've only been selling for about, I've only made for about two to 3 months, and I only started outreach 2 weeks ago. So last Monday. No, sorry. Yeah, literally 2 weeks ago from today. Today's Monday, right? Yeah, so 2 Mondays ago is when we started outreach. So we haven't had any clients yet. We have one signed client, actually, but they're on a revenue share model. And it's for an industry I'm not like hugely familiar with, so we're just taking it one step at a time. But yeah, that's on a revenue share model. I actually sent her a message to check in on it today. See if she's doing some of the stuff I said. Anyway. So, also for anybody who's new here, I have like 90 days to make this work. We're on day 28. We have about 90 days. And if I don't make it by then, we're gonna stop. And that's because I'm gonna run out of money. After I mapped this out, started working on it on Bland. Didn't have a dashboard yet. I don't have the dashboard to show you, but it was essentially kind of like the mapping I just showed. It worked in a similar way. You would have these little boxes where you could connect like nodes together and build this workflow. Like a dialogue tree, kind of. It took me a few days to get it to work. Had to set it up where there was this make.com scenario that would grab the availability from the calendar, like I talked about earlier, and feed it back to Bland AI in real time. Wasn't super easy, but figured out how to do it. Then I started to work on the follow-ups for if someone didn't pick up. Let me show you then the scenarios that I had set up. I never finished it, but it was like, that was finished. So let me just log in quickly and I'll show you what the make scenarios looked like. Here it is. Okay. There. So these are all the scenarios I had made. So I had, let's go through it. Let me see if I can actually remember. So this is the thing that would get the slots. So it would grab the information via a webhook. This would be running consistently. Bland AI, when it gets the variables from the person, would send an API request to this webhook, which would collect all the data that it saved, which is the date and time. This would then send that date and time to cal.com, which is my calendar software that I would integrate with, and check the availability there. Then it would use ChatGPT. Hold on, I just don't want to leak my API key, so I'm moving this. Yeah, so it says, okay, here's the system prompt. Your job is to take the desired date for an appointment booking and available time slots and determine whether the time is available to be booked. So this decides if, based on the data that it got and the data that it received from the cal.com, whether or not there was an open slot. And if it did, it would show the slot. If there's no availability, it would send back that there's no availability with the available times that it got from the previous module. So that's how that worked. And then it would send all of this data back into Bland AI. Copy the other people who have already built the business model you're working on and go to ChatGPT, elaborate the whole process, ask it the biggest hater and tell it to find all your weaknesses. Yeah, I mean, like, I've already done all of this. The business is going fine. Hey, Ake or Atch, what's up? How you doing? Like, the business is fine. I need to do more outreach. And I would like to run ads. So our biggest problem right now is customers. I think that our offer is good. The model is good. Should be fine. We just need customers. We're going to be getting there. Anyway, so that's how that worked. That's how it retrieved the data. Then this is how the call happened. So whenever somebody would fill in a form on a website, it would send the data to here. This would create a new row in Google Sheets to store all of the data. Then there would be a short delay because I don't want the call to happen immediately. and then Bland AI would send the call to the person who reached out. Then once the call would end, it would retrieve the result of the call. And then if the call was declined, it would search rows and update the Google Sheet row saying declined, or that the like call didn't go through. And if it did go through, it would schedule the appointment via cal.com based on the information that it got before, and then update the row and say that it's been updated and that it's been created. I was using this system to essentially tell Bland AI whether or not it should send a follow-up call. And I just have a bunch of these a bunch of these scenarios which do the same thing for the follow-ups. So that's kind of how that worked. It was a cool system. A bunch of these exist now. They didn't at the time, so I know it was a good idea because a bunch of people are selling it now, but I ended up not doing it. At the same time, I was also building my website, originally in Wix, and let me show you what that looked like. Give me just a second. Take a screenshot of this. I thought the idea for my website for this service was really, really cool. You'll see why in a second. So, here we go. Let me show you how that worked. Okay, so the idea for my website for selling this was close more deals faster, call inbound leads within 60 seconds of contact, and increase conversions by up to 391% using an AI voice agent that sounds human and works 24/7. The idea for the contact, for me to get leads, was you get to try the bot right now yourself if you give it your name and your phone number. You click that button and you get the call from the bot and you can test out the conversation. I thought this was a really cool idea because not only do they get to test it out, which is awesome, but if they liked the result, the call agent would book them in for me. So it was like I was using my own service to do that while also giving the option to test. So I think this was a really good idea to try and get leads. Maybe this is something I'm going to eventually come back to. Like, I don't know. Like I said, there's many of these kind of services now. I don't know how much better they are. It's probably been a long time because I made this was about a year ago, maybe a little more now. Actually, it's been much longer than that. So I thought that was a really cool idea. Sounds very cool for real. Yeah, like I really think it was. So that was kind of the idea behind my website. I thought it was very clever because the idea, yeah, like I just said, can test out the phone and also book them in for me. But sadly, never ended up launching this because AI was still kind of seen as like a bit of a fad at this time. People weren't too trusting of it, and I didn't really have an idea on how to get customers yet. I think this was actually around 2 years ago at this point. So I didn't know much at this stage. Then I came across some communities and courses talking about marketing, and that's kind of where the shift started to happen. I abandoned the project and started working on marketing services instead. I figured, this is basically a form of marketing, and since marketing is easier to sell because it's more established and more people trust it, I could just start with the marketing and then maybe add this as a service later. But what I didn't realize is that a bunch more people would start to build this kind of stuff, and I kind of lost that positioning of being one of the first to make it. So that was kind of the problem. So at that point, I started learning about marketing, read a bunch of books, joined communities, did courses, watched YouTube videos, the whole shebang. Started working on a new website, this time in Webflow, because Wix kind of sucked, didn't like it. Let me show you what the original wireframe looked like. Can't you just pass the info, name and stuff, then generate the audio? What do you mean by that? Can you explain a little bit? Let's say two guys give the same service with the same price. How are you going to convince your lead to choose you, not him? Well, the first thing would be to not have the same price. You shouldn't have the same price because it makes you, if you have the same price as your competitors, it makes you look commoditized. You need to differentiate yourself. If everybody charges, I don't know, $1,000 a month for marketing services, you should charge $2,000 and make your service more valuable or add parts to it. The best way to stand out with any service is to offer a service that other people don't replicate. So figure out how you can improve your service so that you can add more value to it and solve more problems with it. So the way I kind of have my offer structured, I have a speed guarantee. I say I will launch your campaign in 7 days, or you get a 20% refund. Most marketing companies would take weeks or even months to launch campaigns. So I have that speed guarantee. That solves a problem with speed, people who want to get this up really quickly. Another offer I have, which is different, most of them are on retainer models. I don't have a retainer model. It exists if somebody wants it, but my main model is a one-time fee where I set up all of their systems for them, teach them how to run it, and work for them for free until everything gets set up and they're getting clients coming through and they keep everything. So you need to differentiate yourself. That's the best way to do it. Hey dude, sorry I can't watch much. Gotta practice for chess. Chess? What's your elo? Also, Balur, you said. Balur's not even here today. Must have died or something. What's your chess elo? That's cool that you're playing chess. Good on you. 500. Okay, nice, nice. Keep working on it. I mean, you're young. You could make a lot of progress. Obviously, like with chess, some people start at like 3 years old, but look, you're still fairly young. Just keep it up. Yeah. Nice. Nice to see some kids playing chess. It's good for your brain. But yeah, that's kind of the idea, that you want to differentiate your service. You need to add more value to your service. That's how you stand out. And then raise your prices. Don't have the same price as your competitors. I hope that answers your question. I assume you want to give a taste of the call, then maybe get the info and make a sample audio. Well, the way that it would work is it was actually set up with that system. So the AI caller would work for me. So when they give the name and phone number, the agent would call them immediately and use their name and everything and talk to them and show them basically how it works. Bro, I really got to go or I'm cooked and trying. Bye. See ya. Well, thanks for stopping by anyway. Good luck. Refund 20% of the price is big claim though. Exactly. That's the point. I'm making this claim because I'm saying, look, I will launch in 7 days. It's going to happen. I would only give the refund if I fail that. But that guarantee gives it more substance. Instead of just me saying, okay, we'll launch in 7 days. It's like, okay, anybody can say that. But I say I will launch in 7 days or I will give you 20% back. That's a lot more powerful of a message. Anyway, let me show you what my original wireframe looked like. Wasn't amazing, don't laugh. I know because I said that everybody's going to start like sending laughing emojis or something in chat. Chat always loves the troll. A little bit of trolling. Anyway, here's what my wireframe looked like. More clients, less effort guaranteed. Increase your quality of leads by up to 247% in 90 days. Or less using effective marketing. This was a complete bullshit claim. I don't do that anymore. I want to be like completely transparent and honest. I also had some like fake case studies I was planning to use, but I never did because I was like, I don't want to do this. People were trying to convince me that I need to lie and pretend like I have reviews, but I said no to that. I was like, I don't want to be that kind of guy. If I need to lie to make sales, I'd rather not make any sales. So I stopped doing that. I don't make wild claims like this anymore. I say stuff that I can actually guarantee. Like, for example, the headline I'm going to be using now is get 5 or more new jobs booked in 30 days or we'll work for free until you do. And that's a claim I can actually back up. And I have in the actual agreement letter that we're going to get signed for that, I have a clause as well, which is like, look, if we try to set all of this up, if we try to get you 5 clients and due to unforeseeable circumstances, or if your business closes or whatever, and we just cannot physically accomplish that goal, we will refund you all of the money. Nobody reached the top without doing unethical things. Yeah, but I don't want to be like that. Just because other people are unethical doesn't mean I want to be. You can achieve things by being honest, authentic, kind, caring, and ethical. I don't want to be like the others. That's why I'm doing this to begin with. You have to realize, why do you think that nobody shows all of the behind the scenes of what they do in their business? Because they don't want people to copy them. They don't want the systems to be leaked. They don't want their audience to see the marketing tricks that they're using to funnel the audience into buying their courses and stuff like that. That's why they're doing it, because they don't want people to know unethical practices. But I want to be the complete opposite of that. I want everybody to know everything I'm doing. I don't want there to be any bullshit. I don't want there to be any lies. I want to be fully transparent and authentic. That's what I'm using to separate myself from these people. So then I had the picture, which is actually still being used. I'll show you all the pictures I made. I made them all in Canva. But I built this in Webflow. This was my original kind of wireframe. This isn't what the site looked like. Like, this is just a kind of vague idea as to what it looked like. I didn't build it out perfectly in this. I was just trying to get an idea of what I wanted to do with it. So as you can see here, for anybody who wants to see these, you could like screenshot or something, or rewind the stream later or something. I had a lead magnet I had as well, which is not on my site anymore. I've replaced it with a video sales letter, which is better. Then I had a money back guarantee that if our ads don't perform better than your current ads, you don't pay us. Now I have a guarantee, which is we'll get you a certain amount of booked jobs, and if we don't get them, we'll work for free until we do. Or we'll give you a full refund. So yeah, same with this. Like, these are fake. I was gonna make these up, but then I decided against it because they were wrong. The people that were telling me I need to lie, fuck them. I don't want to lie. I want to be honest. Anyway, so you can see that. Started to build it in Webflow, and I made a bunch of pictures for the site because I didn't want to use stock images. And let me show you the pictures that I made. 1 sec. Let me move these. Should have probably organized these a bit better, but alas. Give me just a sec and I'll make them look presentable. I never realized just how much shorter the verticals, like how much smaller the vertical stream is. So it's much harder to see. Here we go. So this is, I made this in Canva, and like a little bit of Canva, a little bit of Photoshop. So I made this. I used all these on my website. This and this. I think they're fairly nice. Anyway, so those are the pictures I used. Now, when I finished my website, I finished it, paid for the Webflow plans, connected my domain, and that was my first actual launched site. First live site. And like I said before, I also made a lead magnet that somebody could download. It was a free guide on how to run meta ads. It wasn't amazing because at this point I still didn't know like a huge amount, not nearly as much as I know now. So now I have the video sales letter, which is much better. It actually teaches a lot more. I did more, started learning more about marketing, started to develop my actual service, which was originally just simple Facebook ad campaigns. I would just run Facebook ads for people. I made some templates for myself, like qualification questions, sales scripts, and anything else that I would need. I came up with an ad I could run, which my pitch for that was that I'll run free ad campaigns for my clients. For the first 5 small business owners that reach out, I will run a free ad campaign. Now, the ad worked fine. It did get me to talk to some people, and the cost per lead was pretty good. And I got to develop my sales skills a little bit. But this is also where I encountered like my first problem, my first actual problem, which is that the people I was raking in from the ad were all broke or didn't want to reinvest into their business. So I had to try to sell them on, even though I was already selling a free service, and like all they had to do was pay the ad budget. So that was one of the first lessons I learned about marketing. If you like actual lessons from experience, if you sell things cheap, you attract cheap clients. So I stopped the ads, started thinking of a different idea. After that failure, I realized I got to do something different. I had to put more effort into actually developing my offer, and that's exactly what I ended up doing. I used Alex Hormozi's books as guides, the $100 million offers and leads books, and ended up developing a much stronger offer, which is ultimately what became the current offer that I'm using now. I used a bit of help from ChatGPT here as well to speed up the process. What I did was basically write down the potential problems and then write out problems they could have with that problem in relation to the concepts of dream outcome, likelihood of achievement, effort and sacrifice, and time. Those are concepts from Alex Hormozi's $100 million lead, offers book. Let me give you an example so you understand what that means. Let's say the problem is let's say the problem my clients would have is organic growth feels slow and unpredictable. Well, for dream outcome, I would write, okay, well, even if this works, I will grow too slowly to hit my goal. And then I would write down how I would fix this problem in the customer's mind. Then I would do the same for likelihood of achievement, effort and sacrifice, and time. And that's how I ended up creating my current offer. Since then, I tweaked it here and there. I changed it from a retainer model to being a one-time payment and some other small changes like that. I also redesigned my website to fit this new offer, and that's pretty much it. Soon after that, I started streaming. Now, that obviously that's not every single thing that happened, but those are the main points. So that's kind of how I got here. So yeah. What's your thoughts on ChatGPT? It's awesome. I love ChatGPT. Super useful. Very nice. I approve. I love using it. I use it all the time. It's so useful. Anyway, that's basically what my business is about. And how I got here. So now that we have that, I think that's good. I'm getting super hot. I'm going to turn on the AC. If anybody has any questions or anything, feel free to ask. Anybody who wants to start their own business or whatever, feel free to ask me questions. Do you have experience in coding websites? Not coding. I don't do backend. I have a friend who's a backend developer, and I do front end with Webflow. So I have like a little bit of experience in coding, but it's really not a lot. Because I build with Webflow, which is basically like, it's an industry standard web builder. It just makes it easier than coding from scratch. You can use code to like make custom stuff if you need. Like I use some code to make a transparent, like kind of like a translucent background behind my navigation bar and stuff. I can kind of show you what that looks like. I don't know how easy it will be to see on a vertical stream, but I'll show you what it looks like. This is actually the wrong site. It's in my testing site. Yeah, here we go. So, don't know how easy this is for you to see, but you see this behind the navigation bar. You could see the text as it goes behind, it starts to get blurry and dark. So I did that with custom code. I did smooth scrolling with custom code as well. But most of it is not done with custom code. This is a test site. This is not my actual site. Like, don't look at it. It's not it's not finished. Don't worry. I have a better plan prepared for it. But yeah, there's some stuff like you could do with custom code, but I just use Webflow. It's better, in my opinion, than coding manually. Hey, updater, what's up? Good morning. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Nice to see you again. I feel like it's a habit at this point to to say that. Like I say exactly the same thing for every person that shows up again. So yeah, any other questions? Feel free to ask. This is gonna be a bit of a shorter stream, probably because I'm just like, I just wanted to have this as part of the series. That's why I'm including it. Let me put my headphones back on. So yeah. It's been a long time, you know, spent a lot of time learning and trying stuff, failing, trying other stuff, failing again. It's very hard. It's hard, all this stuff. Takes a lot out of you. And we've made a decent amount of progress since I started streaming as well. You know, I work so much more now than I used to. But I don't think I could have it any other way. Even though it's hard, it's just the idea that I could just work for myself instead is just so much nicer. Even if it means I have to work twice as much. I'm getting so sweaty, you can see my face starting to like glisten. It's so hot it is in here, it's really hot. But then when I turn on the AC, it like gets cold really fast. Kind of annoying. Anyway, Kind of want to get some water. Kind of thirsty. You know what? Yeah, I'll be back in a second. I'm gonna go get some water. Be right back. I'm back. Anyway, what else could we talk about? I have so many ideas planned. Want to make that YouTube video. I'm probably gonna spend a little bit of time editing that today. Is the 11th, so actually 2 posts are gonna go up today. Hey Chris Wifty, what's up? Hey Deadpool, what's up? Don't say anything racist, please. don't kill me through the screen or something. That would be really bad. Imagine having premeditated that. How cool would that be? Like you have like a Deadpool show up and then you have like a pre-recorded video which while you're live like goes off, looks like you got fucking shot and dead. I wonder if that would like freak people out. That would be really funny. Yeah, what's up Deadpool? How you doing? What brings you here? I'm not that much. Well, the name, I'm just like, I saw the name and it just immediately made me think of like actual Deadpool. I love Deadpool as a character. That's one of my favorite, like, would you call it a cartoon character? I guess like a fictional character. Nothing, man, just chilling out right now. Ah, cool. What do? You in school, college, work? What you up to? But I do things like Deadpool. Like what? Like what? Give me an example. I want to know. What's the agenda today? So we actually already went through the agenda for the last hour. I was just talking about like how my business kind of started, how I got to this point, all the mistakes I made, just so I could have it included as part of the series. Because I started much later. I had a long time where I worked on stuff which didn't work. I'm in college. Oh, nice. What are you doing in college? Just do racist things, crazy things. What's your content, by the way? So I show the behind the scenes of what I'm doing in growing my business, my digital marketing business. What I'm building, John, is a digital marketing agency. We run Facebook ads and build websites to funnel clients into the calendar of landscapers. And I'm showing what I'm doing behind the scenes, like all the boring shit, all the fun stuff and all the boring stuff. So like how we're getting clients, the systems I'm building for getting clients, how you make your agreement letter, setting up onboarding documentation, and all sorts of other stuff. Trying to make our first sale from the business. This is day 28. So it's been a long journey. We're making our way. I'm trying to do it in 90 days. So we have 62 left. We've gotten 8 replies from our email campaign, 6 negative, 2 positive. We launched 2 weeks ago and we've sent about 400 emails. I'm starting to increase the amount of emails I'm sending. I'm also planning on setting up ads and stuff like that. So we're chucking away. We're making progress. I just figured, you know, nobody's ever really done this, and I thought, wouldn't it be cool to make content like that, where if we succeed, I would have like cold hard evidence of basically start to finish, like before client outreach, because I was getting ready to do client outreach, and I thought, you know, what if I start recording everything now so I could show people actually getting clients. So I thought that would be really cool. Never seen it before. Nobody's really this authentic and open and transparent about the stuff they do in their business. I think a lot of people like to see step-by-step kind of stuff. Because, you know, you hear a lot of this stuff like, oh, pick a niche and, you know, develop your onboarding and stuff and whatever. But most people don't really know what that means. Especially if you haven't worked in like an office job or something before, you wouldn't really understand what that means. So I thought, what if I show that? Because that's something I always wished that I had. So I figured, you know what? If that's something I wanted, I'm sure that that's something that some other people would appreciate as well. So I started doing it. So that's that. I'm gonna play some music because my dog is barking like crazy. My family's visiting, so they're like playing with it, I imagine. And he's going fucking wild. I really hope you can't hear it through the mic. Give me a sec. Pull up the music. God, it's so distracting. I told them to be quiet, but you know how it is with family. They don't know they don't know how to listen. Anyway, there we go. I can almost not hear him anymore. But yeah, today's probably going to be a little bit of a shorter stream. I think yesterday was a bit shorter as well. Usually we spend like the first half an hour just bantering, but this time I just kind of told the full story. Still figuring out what's the government doing, roaming here and there, and we paying taxes. What don't you understand about it? I think taxes are pretty bullshit. Not because the system is like flawed, but because the system is corrupt. That's what I hate about it. In a perfect world, taxes would work pretty well, I think. But we don't live in a perfect world. So, fuck taxes. They take extortionate amounts of money from you. It's fine if you actually use some of the services that the taxes go to, but if you don't, then it kind of blows. Because you just lost a bunch of money for no reason. It'd be nice to live in a country where you don't pay any taxes. That would be nice, yeah. Or just do some like funky business, like asset moving to not pay any taxes as well, but don't need to worry about that until you have a lot of money. The people that get fucked the most are the middle class and lower class. But well, what can you do? They'll just gotta get on with it, live life, you know? Anyway, I don't really have like any other plan for today. I just wanted to kind of update the story just so it's there. I need to think about what I'm going to be doing tomorrow and stuff. What are your thoughts on non-coding AI tools like Lovable AI to build faster websites and services? I don't know how good they are. Like, I've used some of them before, and I think they can be fine, but you still need to know some stuff. Like, for example, when I used Bolt.new, which is a web builder with AI, like, you still need to know how to connect the backend yourself, how to connect your own domain and stuff. You could build a front end and it can work, but even then, if you're doing it for like clients or something, they would ask you for specific changes, and with AI, it's like quite difficult to make specific changes. I think that right now, those tools are really good for programmers. But if you're a programmer and you know what you're doing, you could use those tools to speed up your workflow. Kind of like ChatGPT. I think you can use ChatGPT to speed up your workflow in whatever career that you're in, but you can't, it's not good enough to replace anybody in their industry yet. All right, to zoom in, it's like you're staring at my soul. Yeah, it's because like you can go to the horizontal stream. It doesn't look like this. It's because I'm not using a phone, I'm using a camera, so it's recording this way. So if I have to zoom in to fill the borders, otherwise it's just black. Like, I can make myself smaller. I could just, like, there we go. But now there's a bunch of black borders. Like, is this better? If you prefer this, I could just keep it like this. I just thought that the black borders look kind of unprofessional, so I didn't want them there. Love from Cameron. Thank you. Love from Spain. Is Cameron a place? I imagine, right? I haven't heard of Cameron as a place. Unless Cameron is a person and that's your name. Is this better? Do you prefer the less zoomed version? It's far better. Put your Instagram handle at the top. Okay. Okay. It's better. Okay, okay. You know what? I'll listen to the feedback. I will update it. Maybe I'll put some kind of like things at the top and bottom to make it look better. Hey, Abdira Man. I don't know how to say that. It's a country. That's cool. I've never heard of that. Where is that? Central Africa. Wow, that looks really nice. It showed a really nice waterfall. Cool. Wow, so you guys have some beautiful landscapes. What's life like there? You like living there? Let me see actually if I can like tweak this a little bit. Nah, actually I'll do it off stream. But yeah. Okay. I'll just put like borders at the top and bottom of some sort. But okay. Thank you for the feedback. I appreciate that. What's the live stream about? So we already kind of went through what we usually do. So, okay, normally I work on stream. So we have a little bit of banter at the start. We do a little bit of work on the business in between. I'm building a business from scratch and I'm showing all the stuff that I'm doing in it. And today I just kind of wanted to talk about how I got to this point because I didn't have that and I wanted it to be part of the series. So right now I guess it's just a Q&A. If you have any questions about business or marketing or anything. Why Sydney Sweeney suddenly got famous and made millions from her business? She didn't suddenly get famous. She's been famous for a while. It just got even like more blown up because of that advertisement she did recently. With the jeans company. Because people find her extremely attractive. That's cool, I guess. We have the best AI engineers and data scientists in Africa. No cap. Is that so? I don't know anything about Africa, so... That's cool if that's the case. But the landscapes look very beautiful. What do you do in your day? Like, are you in school, college, work? What kind of stuff are you up to? Hey, Elliot. Thanks for the follow. What's up, Elliot? What's the name of the book you're reading at the back? Pitch Anything by Oren Klaff. It's a book about sales. You play Fortnite? No, I do not play Fortnite. I don't play any games nowadays. I really love video games, but I don't get to play anymore because I'm very busy. Maybe someday, if I make it, if I manage to make enough money, I'll be able to have some spare time to play some video games again. Would be nice. It's been a while since I've even socialized. Like, this is literally my only form of social interaction, pretty much. I don't socialize with anybody. I've been in complete isolation for months. I'm a dev starting my own startup. Can we discuss? Maybe give me some tips. Yeah, sure. Well, what are you building? What kind of app? I'd love to help you out. There was a guy actually in here yesterday who sent me in their website and I roasted the shit out of it. And I imagine that he was very grateful for it. So I could do the same for you if you want to show me your websites or ads or whatever. I could roast you, tell you what's shit and what's not. Elliot just like asked if I play Fortnite and then I said no and he probably left. He's like, fuck this guy. I only talk to people who play Fortnite. Real estate developer, but I learned philosophy, marketing, data science for fun. Oh, that's cool. All right. Do you like philosophy? Would you want to be like a monk, just sitting, like meditating all day and just thinking about the world? Is that something you'd want to do? Sometimes I think if I would like that. I think that monks and hippies are like the happiest people because all they do is just they know how to enjoy life without the need for anything materialistic. And I find that like I'm kind of envious of that. I wonder what that's like. I'm not very materialistic, but I still have like dreams I want to accomplish and I have ambitions, but they don't have any of that. They just exist. They're just happy and content with existing. I wonder what that's like. It seems like a superpower. Unsocial humans lives 100 lives in just one. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not really sure what you mean by that. I think socializing is extremely important. I think everybody should socialize. I'm starting to get like really lonely. Even like it's kind of weird. It kind of helps in a way when you talk to people online, but it also kind of just exacerbates the loneliness because you don't get the real human connection over the internet. Building a website similar to Stake, but uses money in Africa. What do you think? Well, I mean, that's not enough of a description for me to know what to think. Stake is a gambling site, is it not? Are you building a gambling site? It is gambling, yeah. You're building a gambling site. Can I see it? I'd like to see it. Probably not. Those hermits and hippies are scammers. No, I mean like the people that actually just sit, meditate, and think their whole lives. The ones that don't take drugs. And don't try to scam you. Building a marketplace app. I want to provide the software like the POS and the whole ERP for free. I don't like acronyms. Could you type out the full word? Last time somebody used an acronym, I looked it up and it said child sexual exploitation. So I don't like acronyms. What is POS and ERP? For free to sell their products at markup, maybe charge like a few dollars a month for a system as a whole, still in planning stage. Still in development. Okay. And what's your ultimate goal with that? And the biggest thing about software is like what makes you different. Why would somebody choose you instead of somebody else? Because almost any platform that you can develop, somebody has already made before. So what matters most is how do you stand out? Why would people buy from you instead? So make sure you answer those questions. What gave you the idea, Joe? Just out of curiosity, why do you want to do a gambling site? My site is trustworthy like Stake. Well, but that doesn't make you stand out. You just said like Stake. The whole point is you want to be unlike some other companies. That's not a unique selling point. Point of sale is POS. And yeah, because see, POS in my mind means piece of shit. So this is why I don't like acronyms. Because in every industry, they have their own acronyms for different things. Sell their products at markup, maybe try. I'm still not 100% sure I'm understanding. Could you give it like a little bit more of a detailed description? Like what actually happens? Who would sign up for it? How does it work? Why would people use it? How does it help them? Stuff like that. Do you also get like really bad, like into a really bad mood when you don't sleep well? I get like either depressed or angry. And the more I don't sleep, the worse it gets. They want my system because it's cheap. It's all in one and I help them sell more products. Users are mainly wholesale shops. Yeah, but the problem with cheap is that you make less money. You don't have to, like, people don't buy stuff because it's cheap. People buy stuff because it's worth more to them than the money they're spending. Like, think about it like this. This is the easiest example I can give of this. Imagine you go to hey Ash Peterson, thanks for the sub. If you go to like two guys, let's say you go to a guy who sells money. That's kind of the whole point of business is you're selling value. You're giving to somebody more value than you are receiving. So in a way, you're selling money. Like they give you $10, you give them back 20. That's kind of the premise of a business. Or you save them time or the equivalent. It just needs to be more valuable than what they're spending. So imagine you go to two guys and one says, you give me $10 and I'll give you 20 back. Right? I sub too. No thanks for me. So your name didn't come up. Thank you for your sub as well. I'm sorry. Sometimes they just don't come up for some reason. I'm not really sure why. So imagine you go to a guy and he says, you give me $10, I'll give you 20. Right? Fair enough. Say you go to another guy, you give me $10, I'll give you 40. Or you give me $100, I'll give you 400. Which do you think is the better deal? You have to spend more on the other, but you get more back. You understand what I'm trying to say? So price is not really the issue. It's your price to value ratio. Your value needs to be way up here and your price needs to be here in comparison. But that doesn't mean the price has to be low. If you're selling something for $10 that's worth $1,000, like that's a huge disparity. Why not sell it at 100 that's worth 1,000? You know, that sounds a lot more fair. So it's not the price that's the issue. It's like once you start getting those two values close to each other, that's when it starts to become a problem. You would really struggle to sell a $100 product that's only worth $100. It's a booming business in Africa, like an aviator game. There's no company offering game sites. Mostly they focus on sports betting. I'm offering game betting. But why would they not just use Stake or one of the more reputable ones? Why would they go with you instead? Well, like, what's the reason? Because it's online. Like, anybody could just play on Stake, right? They want my system? Yeah. I want to discuss its viability. With me? I mean, I would need to understand more about the system to be able to help you. If you want, feel free to join my Discord. You can ask me questions there. We can maybe talk about it a little bit. I could give you some ideas. I don't think my mod is here today, so I'll have to give you the link myself. Give me a sec. In case you want to join. Give me 1 minute. Almost there. Takes a while to open this. Okay, here you go. Discord link. So if you want to ask me questions or anything, you can join the ad, send me a friend request or something as well. We could talk about it. If I have any time, I'll give you some tips. Any other questions? Anybody else? I still want to know, Joe, why would somebody play with you instead of with Stake? What are some of the others? You know, gambling streams are so funny to watch. There was this guy that I used to watch like a year ago. I think his name was Bossman Jack. Found those really, really funny. I don't know if anybody's ever seen those, but just seeing that dude fucking tweak from losing all of his money all the time was just really funny for some reason. I felt like at times I felt really bad for him, but at times I just thought it was really funny. What's your question, Ryder? Anybody, feel free to ask any questions you have. Hey, Chris. Imagine one of these people asks a question. It's like, why don't you kill yourself already? It's probably gonna happen one day. Although YouTube would probably censor it, I don't think I would see that. Stake uses crypto, but in Africa, the adaptivity of cryptocurrency about 0.2%. I use currency. Isn't there other sites, though, that... Not Stake, but other sites where you don't have to use crypto? I don't know any off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure they exist. My question's about your forehead. Oh, it's you again. I just realized. Why is my forehead so kissable? Is that going to be your question? Did I get it word for word? Chris, I don't know if that's your question or not, or if you just like accidentally hit the enter key. My man, yeah, I got it perfectly. Nailed it. Let me tell you a quick story that happened the other day of how I rickrolled my friend. I have a friend who's a programmer, and I was giving him access to my VPN account because I had a VPN that I pay for and I can share with multiple people. And I got access to his PC, and as soon as he gave me access to his PC, I just opened up a new browser and rickrolled him. I was really proud of that. I thought it was hilarious. Dude got absolutely wrecked. Completely destroyed. How can I state my origins in my business? What do you mean by that? I don't know what that means. What are the other gambling sites that are popular? I'm now internalizing, not internalizing, that's the wrong word. I'm like immortalizing the search term popular gambling sites into my search bar. So whenever I look something up later down the line on my stream, somebody's going to think I'm some like gambling addict or something. Bet365. Yeah, Stake. I swear I knew some other ones too, which aren't showing up here. Someday when you're rich and doing a TED Talk, take questions, I'll ask you about your forehead. That would be really funny, honestly. I don't think I would do TED Talks though. They're kind of gay. But I don't know, maybe. I just don't like them usually. They don't really like say much. They usually just like talk about a bunch of like circular nonsense. Some are occasionally good, but I just don't really know what I would say. Like what would I get up, and if I'm successful and get to the point where I'm having a TED Talk, like am I just going to teach somebody everything they need to do to start a business? I would want it to be valuable. But that would be really funny if after all that time you still remember me and you go to one of those events. You know what? If I ever host a TED Talk, and you like save this as a clip, if I'm ever that successful and I do some kind of TED Talk, you can show me this clip, and I will give you tickets for free. I will fly you out to the event if you want. Love these videos, seeing you grow. Keep it up. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I don't think I've actually seen you around here before. So how come you don't participate more, huh? Not that I'm blaming you, that like you don't have to. It's fine just watching. But thank you. I appreciate that. It's nice to have all you here. Makes it a little bit less boring. Many sites focus on sports betting, which is peak. I want to be different offering betting games. Yeah, but I just don't think that that's like... I don't want to rain on your parade or anything, but I just don't think that that's like unique enough, because there are loads of sites which offer currency game betting. Like, I really doubt that you're going to be like the first one to do it or something. You know, I'm pretty sure there's probably other sites which you can... which like people in Africa can use. I don't think that's unique enough. Like a unique offer would be something like, I don't even know what casinos, because casinos have usually really unique offers. I remember I heard a cool unique offer about a casino, which they offered you like a free one-night stay in like a 5-star hotel, or like infinite beer or something like that if you played with a certain amount. And they all ended up spending so much money that it more than paid for the beer, and it got them loads of customers. Casinos are like kind of unethical. They just feast on people's addictions. I think it'd be okay till you're constantly grinding. Yeah, just gotta keep it up, do it every day. Keep going and just hope for the best. We'll see. When we start reaching out to more people, when we start doing the ads, really, really hoping we'll finally be able to make some kind of sale. I'm also working on some stuff behind the scenes to improve the quality of the streams because we don't really have a structure, and I want to set it up so that we have like an actual structure where at the start we have a certain thing that we do, in the middle I actually have like periods where we talk about certain things, have some interactivity with chat. Maybe I could have some kind of polls where I let people make a decision for me, stuff like that, you know, just have a little bit more interaction. I think that would be really cool. Working on some assets as well, getting like sound effects. Somebody is helping me like build some stuff for the stream. I'm very grateful for. You know the number one rule of casinos? No, I don't. What's the don't go? Don't play. That's probably the best rule. I know one rule. It's 99% of gamblers quit right before they win big. I know that rule. House, oh yeah, house always wins. Yeah, this is true. Super true. You know, I'm one of the only men alive that has beaten the casino. I went to a casino one time when I was 16 in one of the Canary Islands, and I won like over €100 or something, like €120 or something, and I left, and I never gambled since. Hey, Rayan, or Ryan. I don't know how to say that, or just maybe it's just Ryan. Hello, welcome. No way. What no way? At 16, yeah. I wasn't supposed to be there, but they didn't check ID or anything. It was like one of those open casinos. Like it wasn't like a proper building. They were kind of doing it outdoors, and I won it at the roulette table. I guessed. I wasn't betting with like large amounts of money, but the reason I won so much money was because after like 3 spins, I guessed the exact number that was going to come up. I shit you not. I watched the roulette table for like 20 minutes, and I noticed that the ball tends to land in a certain space, on average, in a certain space, depending on where it started the launch. And I could somewhat predict the quadrant that it was going to land in fairly consistently. So when I finally noticed, I was like, okay, going like this, and I started to realize the pattern. After that, I was like, okay, I started betting on specific numbers in the quadrants where I thought it was going to come up. And after 3 spins, I got it. And then I left. Hey, Ash. What's up? How you doing? I really hope I'm going to get that video done today. I'm going to try. I think it's going to be a really nice video. Since my channel is small, probably not many people are going to see it, but I hope it's going to be enjoyable. Oh, man. Lack of sleep really starts to build up after a few days. It's rough. You don't sleep well for one day, and then the next, and then the next, and then the next. And it just gets worse and worse. I found that steak is not available and restricted in many African countries. Huh. Well, maybe they have like different gambling laws or something that steak isn't following. Not sure. I mean, maybe he does have the right idea. Look, I just simply don't know. I'm just asking questions. Like, if it is actually unique and that in Africa, there's no game betting sites that they're allowed to use that exist already, and he will set one up that you can, then it's a great idea. But I just don't really like casinos. I think they're very scummy. Like, yes, people want it, and you got to give people what they want, or else somebody else will. And I understand that principle, but it just doesn't sit right with me because you're just taking advantage of addicted people. You like my headphones? Do you want to know what they are? They're Sony XM5s. Yeah, they're nice. Got them a couple years ago because my old headphones broke My old headphones were really good too. They were just very heavy. They would hurt my ears. I mean, this does as well. I don't really wear headphones. I'm a speaker guy. I only wear headphones because if I play music here, you're gonna hear like reverb in the mic. But I don't really like headphones. They hurt my head. I also don't like listening to music in general. I like music, but I prefer to play music than to listen to music. And whenever I do listen to music, it's more like stuff like what I'm playing now. Very chill, relaxing, like video game music. I don't listen to too much music that's like with vocals. I do everything raw, as they call it. You play music? Yeah, I know how to play the piano and the guitar. I'm not that good at guitar. Well, I'm not that good at either of them, but I've been playing piano for a very long time, just on and off, and I'm self-taught, so I'm not like amazing or anything. But I've been playing since I was like 11, I think. Like on and off. Sometimes I play like an hour a day for like a month, and then sometimes I take like a few month break. But I do like to play. I think it's fun. I don't practice guitar much at all though, so I'm not that good at guitar. Even though I've been playing for a long time as well. Acoustic. Although I actually had this cool riff that I made when I recorded a song before. It was made with like a Hans Zimmer kind of style. I made it with a friend of mine. And we made a song together, and we used all sorts of instruments. We blended acoustic and electric guitar together, and it was like a devil and angel sort of thing, where part of the song was acoustic guitar and piano, and the other part of the song was like electric guitar and drums. And it was like the stark contrast of like the rise and fall of, it was like a story that you followed. It was really cool. I like that song a lot. I still listen to it sometimes. Hans Zimmer is awesome. Yeah, I fucking love Hans Zimmer as well. Beautiful music. I really love the Amazing Spider-Man soundtrack. I think he did the Batman trilogy as well. Love that music. He did Interstellar, I think, too, right? Hey, Badal. But yeah, I made a song. It's like 5 minutes long with a friend of mine when we were like, how old was I? God, I was like 16. And I made this cool electric guitar riff that I was really proud of. It was just a basic like scale, kind of like you go from the bottom to the top of a scale, but the speed would continuously double. It was like started at a fairly slow speed, then it would double, then it would double, and until the point where it got like pretty fast. It's not a perfectly produced song or anything. I was pretty young, didn't really know how to use any of the software, so like you can hear at times I'm off rhythm, that I'm not like completely on beat, but everything was recorded with like actual instruments. There was no there was no production. It wasn't fake. We recorded it on, what was it? What was that thing called on the MacBook? The guitar band? Was that what it was called? We recorded all of it live into a microphone on GarageBand. Gambling algo works actually more than real probability. GarageBand, yes, that one. Okay, yes, GarageBand, not GarageBand. I feel like GarageBand is like a video game. Sounds like it would be one at least. Yeah, GarageBand. Yeah. That's what this game is. Yes. So yeah, it was a cool song. I probably still have it somewhere. That was fun. Good times. I haven't played electric guitar in a long time. I miss it sometimes because I really don't want to use this word because somebody might take it out of context, but fingering on an acoustic guitar is tough. Hurts your fingers. So I really miss having an electric guitar. Days of Thunder soundtrack is great. Let me see that. I'll check that out. Is that Hans Zimmer as well? Music producer. Yeah. Okay, I'll check that out. Thanks for the suggestion. Save that as my bookmarks. I haven't seen this movie. Looks familiar though. Maybe I've heard of it sometime. Or just like saw clips of it. Man, the movie looks so like the kind of style I really love, like the early 90s movies. Yeah, 90. Man, fuck, I miss early 90s movies. The vibe of them was just so different. Makes you feel so nostalgic, makes you want to cry. At least it makes me feel like that. I grew up around racing all my life. Days of Thunder is a guilty pleasure. I don't really know much about cars or racing. I was never into it. I was more of a video game guy. I spent a lot of time of my childhood playing Minecraft and Roblox. Never got into cars. I'm not really into like the typical masculine hobbies. Like I'm not that into cars. I'm not that into watches. I don't smoke. I don't like cigars or anything. I don't really have any of those. I'm not materialistic. The only thing that I want to do with any money I would have is have my own house, take care of my family, and just give it away to people. So you like John Carpenter music too. I've heard of him. Look, I'm not too good with names, but I've probably heard of the music because that sounds familiar. But if it's kind of similar, like orchestral kind of stuff, then yeah. Your net worth low, like 4 grand, very low. I'm running out. That's why I need to make this business work. What about you? If you don't mind sharing. Yeah. That's how I feel like inside, but mixed with like crying emojis as well. It's like laughing and crying. Laughing, crying, and then actually crying. Just this internal turmoil constantly. From Nepal. What's Nepal like? Let me check out Nepal. So many countries in this world. Man, those are beautiful mountains. Holy shit. Wow. That is beautiful. I gotta visit Nepal. Holy shit. God damn. Look at this fucking picture. Holy. Look at this. That is fucking beautiful. God damn. You live in this fucking place? Well, probably not in a place that looks like that, but... That is crazy. Is Nepal very safe? What's the crime rate like? If your business doesn't work, what's your fallback? I'd probably get a sales job. My family's visiting right now, and they don't know anything, so I gotta keep it kind of quiet. Hope you're able to hear that. Come to visit Nepal, bro. Yeah, I want to. That place looks stunning. How far is it actually? Looks like an Asian country. Google Maps. I live in Spain, so probably pretty far. Very far away from the Asian countries. Where's tallest mountain is located there? I thought Mount Everest is the tallest. Or no, Mount Everest has the highest peak, but it's not the tallest, right? Is Kilimanjaro the tallest? Can't remember. Okay, I won't tell him. Yeah. But yeah, it's probably get a sales job somewhere. Not sure where. Yeah, Nepal on the outskirts of India and China. Huh. Alright. So it's pretty far. Like literally halfway across the world from me. Oh, maybe someday. I actually always wanted to go on like a huge trip around the world, just to as many countries as possible in like a straight line. So go to like Portugal, Spain, France, Switzerland, Germany, Austria, Hungary, Romania. Just go in like a straight line. Go towards maybe Russia. Not sure if I'd go anywhere in the Middle East. Kind of scared to go in there. You guys are constantly at war or beefing with one another. So might skip over that. maybe in like 10 years it's gonna be a little different, but who knows. I'd like to go to China. I'd like to go to Japan, South Korea. And I guess I could visit Nepal as well. Looks nice. No one's watching, bro. Yeah, that's all good. Can't force people to watch. And the stream is a little bit, like, less active than usual, so can't blame it. Business doesn't work, you could be a forehead model. I actually had a guy in here that asked me to model for him. I said I'll do it for free, just for fun. He has a clothing brand he wants to push. I was like, you know what? I'll model for him. Why not? Because then I could rename my streams to Model Starts Digital Marketing Business. And I wouldn't be lying. And that might be a funnier headline. What is up with you and foreheads, though? You never really explained it. You've just kind of been the forehead guy. Also, Badal, you're watching. Now that I said that, you're gonna get an urge to leave. Because people don't like to be, like, proven wrong. So now you're like, alright, see ya. I want to be rich in Nepal. Yeah, I want to be rich anywhere. I don't really care where I am. As long as the place is nice and the politics aren't fucked. It was the first thing I ever asked, and I've just been running it with it ever since. Yeah, but why? Like, why was that the first thing that you asked me? How did that come to your cerebral cortex? Like, why'd your frontal lobe go like, yeah, that's what I need to say right now to this stranger? Through business. Yeah, who doesn't, brother? We all want to be rich. All for different reasons, though. I don't really mind. Like, I don't want to be rich. I don't think. I just want to be comfortable. So not like mega rich. I don't care about being like a centimillionaire or something. I'd be happy with like $1 million a year. Maybe even half it. Maybe like 500 grand a year. Maybe even like 250 a year. I have no idea. Hey, green dude, how you doing? That was school. But I'm 16. You have loads of time, man. But if you start now, you're going to have a huge advantage over other people. So why not start now? I'm already out of water again. Good, nice, nice. Up to anything interesting today? Okay. Yes. Just start. Be happy with 500 grand a year, who would have thought? Crazy Demonic. What a name. Hey there. I'm doing good. How about you? Yeah, I don't know like what I'd be. I just want to be comfortable. I don't want to be super rich. Like I don't care about jets or yachts or supercars or whatever. I kind of just want to have my own place to live. I'd like to buy my own house and land with cash. And then I'm pretty much good. So whatever I would need to make to have that. So I don't really care about 500 grand a year. It's more like I just want to make like $1 million, buy all the shit that I want, and then just have enough for food and like property taxes, and I'm good. I'm not materialistic. I'm more of a hoarder. I'd like to have a lot of money just to hoard. Got money from the bank and put it in another bank. Why not? I would be reached by the net interest. Well, it depends how much money you have to put. The interest you get from banks is horrendous. That's huge. It's really not that much. It sounds like a lot, but it's only a lot for like an employee. When you have a business, that's like pretty low. The only thing I've ever wanted in this world is my parents' house where I grew up all my life, but I don't think I'll ever be able to afford it. And it makes me sad. But why do you think that? Why don't you think you'll be able to afford it? Why don't you try? I think you can do anything you set your mind to. And I think that it's important to have ambition and want to, you know, reach your dreams and have dreams that you want to reach. I'm sure you can do it if you try. It takes a lot of work. I can tell you, I've been doing this for a long time. And I've been doing this for like properly, I've been doing it for like a few months now, so it's not that long. Hey, thanks for the sub, entertainment. Like I've been working on it for a long time, and I've been studying for a long time. I was working in audit for a long time, and I've been working on this business for like a few months now. Seriously, was since I came up with a new offer I wanted to do. I mean, you can even see from these streams, like I've been doing these streams every day at the same time for 28 days in a row. I've been working for about 10 plus hours a day, no break, for months. It's hard, but like you got to do it, especially if you don't have much support. I'm very lucky. I've met some really amazing people who have been grateful, like who've been kind enough to help me without expecting anything in return, and I'm forever grateful for these people. And I'm gonna make sure that if I reach my goals, these people are gonna be compensated like crazy. I'm gonna pay them fucking triple what they've given me. But like most of the time you're all alone, and you don't have anybody to rely on at all, so you have so much work that you have to do that you can barely even sleep. Thoughts on AI? I do have a lot of thoughts on AI. What thoughts would you like to hear? Gotta love vague questions. You ask vague questions, you get vague answers, unless I'm feeling nice. Am I feeling nice? I don't know, like iffy, 50-50. I think AI is good, so I use it all the time. Good counter, yeah. I mean, what am I supposed to say? Yes, I have many thoughts about AI. I use ChatGPT. What else do I use? Sometimes Claude, sometimes Grok. I'm 23. Do I look 23? Do I look younger or older? Some people say I look younger, some say I look older. It's always confusing. When I was younger, it's kind of funny actually, when I was younger, like 16, people would think I'm in my 20s, like I'm in college and I live by myself and stuff. But now that I'm 23, people tell me sometimes I fucking look 16. I'm like, bruv, really? Like, you think I look 16? What about me looks 16? I don't think I look that young at all. But alas. What are the immediate effects on the economy? What do you think the long-term effects would be? What do you think are the 3 top professions to be affected by AI? See, that's a much better question. That's a way better question. If only everybody asked questions like that. Immediate effects on the economy. I don't think it has any immediate effects on the economy. I think AI is not good enough to be replacing a lot of people yet. And a lot of people that are replacing employees. The only people that are being replaced by AI are like the shitty employees that don't have a lot of skills anyway. You can't replace useful, skilled people with AI yet. So it's fine for now. What I think about the future, I'm very worried about the future because I think AI is going to keep getting better and better and better, and eventually will be able to replace even skilled people. And we're going to run into problems when that happens. I don't know the extent of which it's going to get to, but I imagine it'll probably even be able to do like creative reasoning and be able to think by itself maybe at some point. So it's worrying. I don't know how far away that is, but because like AI, people have only started talking about AI recently, but AI has been in development for a very long time. It's been years, like almost since the dawn of the internet, AI has been a concept. So who knows how long it's actually going to take, but there's a lot of funding being given to AI now, and a lot of people that are big in the field are funding it and putting effort in. So there's a huge likelihood that it's going to progress significantly faster. And I am a little concerned about it. Because I don't know what the solution is. How do you prevent people losing their jobs, like universal basic income? But then I'm afraid we're heading back towards communism. So what do you think are the top 3 professions to be affected by AI? So the people that are like getting replaced the most? I think that okay, who's getting the most replaced? I think copywriters, the low level ones. All the low level copywriters are getting replaced because people think that AI is good enough at writing copy. What else? I think administrator jobs are probably gonna be next. And what else? It's another industry that's gonna get replaced soon. I don't know if this is gonna come soon, but I think that tax experts are really on a thin line because tax is extremely logical. So if you feed all of the tax documentation and laws to AI that it needs to understand, it should be able to do all of your taxes perfectly. So I think the tax specialists are like, I don't know if anybody is working on this, but somebody should. This is an amazing business idea to make a tax expert AI, because it would completely wipe out tax specialists. You're talking about all the people that work at Microsoft virus support? What do you mean? The world has 200 zettabytes of data. It's impossible processing that data by AI. Yeah, for now. For now. I mean, you look throughout all of history, even just the recent history, every year, every time something new comes out, the first thing people say is that this progression of it will be impossible. And they're always wrong every single time. Oh, like tech support and yeah, admin support. Yeah, I think a lot of them are going to get replaced, but it's still kind of rough because like the AI still makes a lot of mistakes, and you do want to talk to a human sometimes. Like you look at Facebook, for example. Facebook fucking blows because Facebook has basically no support, and everything is ran by bots. You can't get in touch with anybody. So if your account is ever blocked for some retarded reason, you're cooked. That's the only shitty thing about running Facebook ads, is the platform fucking sucks. Because it's just ran by bots. No humans. Look up NVIDIA Blackwell survey, could do like 4 petaflops of data in a second. Yeah, exactly. Like it's not a challenge at all. It's definitely going to be overcome if it's not already possible. I'm an artist and I like building stuff, but I've been getting into AI for like 9 months. Yeah, I've been into AI as well. It's really cool. Build a lot of cool stuff with it. I really like making automations in make.com. I made like a personalized icebreaker module in it, which can create personalized emails for me that I can send out. It's pretty neat. Can you be my friend? Yes, we are friends now. I've made it official. Although we can't hang out because you're under 18 and that's weird. But we can talk on stream. Man, I worked out yesterday for the first time in a while. My chest is burning. Hurts to stretch, but it feels good as well. I need to get into the habit of working out more often. Anyway, we've been going for a couple hours. Unless anybody has any other questions, all I wanted to do is just update, like, have a video which explains everything that led to this point, and I have that now, so I don't really have much else to talk about unless anybody has any questions or discussion topics. Yeah. My nose is itchy. I think arts like music, images, videos, writing will be replaced as short-term effects of AI. It's getting there, but it's still not amazing at generating, like, things that you want. You could use it to generate generic stuff, but you still need people to make changes that you want. What kind of business? Digital marketing agency. We run Facebook ads and build websites to get clients for landscapers. Trying to vibe code a video game for passive income. Vibe code. So what, just like on the side, sometimes just build whatever you want and just hope you get a good product at the end. Is that what you mean? How many dick castles have you built in Minecraft? I haven't built any. I don't build cocks in Minecraft. I also haven't played Minecraft in ages now. No time. I'm a web developer. Nice. So am I. Nice. There's a lot of web developers nowadays. I primarily run the Facebook ads, though. Like, the web design is like a secondary aspect. I do want to add web design as a service, as a complete service on its own, but that's gonna come later. Also vibe coded a URL on Replit that acts like a filter for AI. How does that work? What do you mean? Updater, why are you deleting your messages? Why do people delete messages? I don't understand. Like, I get people occasionally in here which just delete their messages, and I don't understand. I'm 23. What about you? Sir Yank. Sir Yank. That's funny. I like that name. You want to check it out? Can I drop the URL? You can try, but you can't drop the full URL because YouTube is gonna not send it. So I think you need to add like a space in between. Look, as long as it's not an IP grabber. If it's an IP grabber, I'm gonna be very upset. But if you're gonna write it, just write the URL without the extension, and then write a second message with the extension. Then it should send through. When web developing, do you use BASIC or C++? I don't use, well, I don't know if you're asking the other guy, but I use a software called Webflow to develop. And I don't do backend, I only do front end. I have a friend who can do backend, so we can do complete websites together. React and Spring. I know what React is. What is Spring? I haven't heard of Spring. I use Webflow and Netlify. Framework for web dev. Ah, nice. All right. Uses graphs to easily navigate the different pages and basically has the different tiers of AI based on cost. Graphs to navigate, to easily navigate to different pages, different tiers of AI based on cost. Still struggling to understand, but look, you can try and drop the link. Just don't use the extension and then send it in a separate message. I'll check it out. And I will just hope that it's not an IP grabber, because I don't have a VPN on. Al Explorer tools. Okay, I believe that that's not an IP grabber. Or that that's AEX, not AI. AI Explore tools. Okay, I see now. And what's the extension? Or if I look this up, will it just show up? Hey, Badal. Is it .com? Discover AI tools for every need. So what is it like? You type in a use case that you need it for, and it sends you. It uses AI to give you the most relevant AI tools, things that you need. Is that how it works? No, but that's not a bad idea. How does it work then? Yeah, I think that'd be a cool idea. Use AI to link you to useful AI tools based on what input you give it. It's like, I need an AI tool for this, 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 and it uses AI to interpret and gives you the tools that can do that. That would be a cool tool. There you go, giving great ideas for free. First time on YouTube I found a good live stream. Well, thank you. I really appreciate that. Unless you're about to hit me with it's not you or not, you know, like Borat. Like first time I found a good live stream, not. Everybody's got their own interests. It's not the most interesting topic. So, you know, there's a lot of kids on YouTube. Funny enough, we actually do get some kids that stay here that are like 12, 13 that actually kind of like it weirdly. But usually, like, I just don't think that this is a very interesting topic for the general population. So I think that's part of the reason why the growth is so slow. It's all good. So you click on an area of the graph compared to what you need, like the Venn diagram has automation, creative, analytical sections. You click on the section you need the most. Okay, let me try this. We could try it together. Let me open it. Let's say I want to make a video or audio. I go to the creative section. Let me open it up. Huh. Oh, so it just gives you all the tools. Oh, okay. So it's like, oh, I need a tool for automation. Here's all the tools you can use. I get it. Brav, where is make.com? What is this? Is that really not there? Wow. Oh no, here it is. Make is free. Make has 1,000 operations for free. N8N is not free. Well, no, you can't have it for free, but it's way more effort to get N8N for free than it is to get Make for free, but okay, whatever. I'm going to lunch. Good day, sir. Man, stop being weird, please. But okay, good day to you as well. Wait, so did you make this? Or is it someone else? Yeah, I know Suno, Deep AI, Canva. Huh. I think I've heard of Gamma. I've seen Character AI, I've seen Gemini, ChatGPT, Grammarly, Quillbot, Move PG, Krita, Figma, Framer, 11 Labs. I know a decent amount of these. I kept running into people that are more trying to grift, so I started trying to sort the info myself. Ah, okay. Oh, this is cool. And did you make this? Yeah. Really fucked that YouTube's developers restricting us to set the quality over the shorts. Even I said it. Yeah, that's annoying. I stream at full quality, so that's not really, I can't do anything about that. Yeah, I hope you like it. It helps in the future if you need to find something. How come you made this? Like, for what? Because it doesn't look like you're getting anything out of it. Did you just make this out of the goodness of your heart? Wanted to make something useful? Had an idea? Because that's really nice. I really aspire to be like that as well. That's part of the reason why I'm having this series, because I hope that if I make it, that my journey is going to be extremely useful to people. And that they'll be able to use some of the information I've shared to build their own businesses. I don't know, cool. Yeah, I like Suno. I used Suno. I think it's pretty neat. Look, if you don't like the shorts, go to the horizontal. Have a horizontal stream as well. Like the normal YouTube stream. Yeah, hoping I can get affiliated links with it. I want to make passive income multiple ways, like I'm working on a farm as well. Oh, cool. How much would you charge for affiliation on this? And how would that even work? Because there's nothing to buy here. So is it like, you'd probably be more like, you give somebody gives a certain amount of money to be able to link to your software or something? I don't really know. How would that work? Like, what is it that you're thinking of specifically? Your strategy for that? I really want to have my own farm, man. That's another reason I want money. Build my own farm. That sounds awesome. I'm happy for you. I hope it works out. Kind of don't like 11 Labs because SFX takes a lot of effort and they just make some AI that can do it way better than some people who work really hard to make sounds. I don't know too much about 11 Labs. I didn't use it too much. I just know it exists. That's about it. People but subs to AI and I get percentage depending on redirecting using links. Okay. Well, I hope that works out for you. Ah, okay. People okay. So anybody who clicks on the AI through one of them gets it's each platform has an affiliation link. Okay, I get it. And is it easy to get affiliated with all of these companies? Have you done any of them yet? That's a really good idea. I think that's neat. It's just like marketing that would be. Yeah, you could easily make content though about it. You could probably get a decent amount of sales just by making content about AI and how to use some of the tools and always link back to finding all the tools using your software. That would probably get you some money. Yeah, well done. I think that's pretty creative. I like that. Oh. Okay. Anyway, got like 17 and gotten 3 replies from general marketers, and I researched them, and all 3 of them didn't seem above board. Too many complaints. All right. Well, I wish you the best with that. I'm gonna end the stream here. Because I am getting pretty tired. Going for a little couple hours. Like I said, I didn't sleep too well today, so yeah. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow at 3 p.m. CEST like usual. Don't know what we're gonna be doing tomorrow. Thanks, man. Good stream, also. Thank you. It's nice to have you here. Best of luck with the tool. Hope to see you around again. And yeah, that's it. Bye.